Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and honestly influential films ever made, Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Now, this is a film that was designed to make you think, to ask way more questions than it answers. So let's get into it and try to figure out what it's all about. I mean, just look at what the director, Stanley Kubrick, said himself. He compared it to the Mona Lisa. If Leonardo da Vinci had just written, "She's smiling because she's hiding a secret," would it be as fascinating? Probably not. Kubrick wanted 2001 to be a pure experience, not some simple puzzle you could just solve. And that's exactly why, more than 50 years later, we're still here trying to unpack its message.
So you have to ask yourself, why does this movie from 1968 feel like it could have been made yesterday? Well, it's because when you look past all the incredible visuals, 2001 is really telling a powerful story about us, about humanity's really complicated, messy relationship with the very tools it creates. And let's be honest, that story has basically become our daily reality.
All right, so Act 1, the dawn of clever beasts. You know, the film doesn't start in some far-flung future. Nope. It takes us way back, 4 million years into our own past, to focus on a single game-changing moment. This is the moment that sets the stage for, well, everything. It's when we stopped being just animals and turned into something different. So what happens? This weird, mysterious black monolith just appears, and it seems to trigger this huge leap in consciousness. All of a sudden, our ape-like ancestors figure out how to use a bone. But here's the kicker. It's not just a tool. It's a weapon, a way to seize power. And that single act kicks off a cycle that defines all of human history. Our incredible technological progress is, from the very beginning, tied to conflict. You know who described this perfectly? The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. He called us clever beasts who invented knowing. And think about that for a second. He saw this as the most arrogant and mendacious minute in world history. We thought our tools made us masters of the universe. But for Nietzsche, our entire history is just this tiny, arrogant little flash of self-importance.
And this is where Kubrick's genius really shines through. The film does this incredible jump cut, millions of years into the future. But what's really changed? Seriously, our ancestors were beating each other over a waterhole with bone clubs. Now we see modern humans, the Americans and the Russians, locked in this tense Cold War, being all secretive about, you guessed it, another monolith on the moon. The weapons are more advanced, sure, but the tribal, us versus them instinct, it's exactly the same.
This really gets at one of Nietzsche's most famous and kind of bleak ideas: eternal recurrence. It's this concept that we're basically trapped in a loop. We keep inventing more and more advanced tools, but we're just repeating the same basic self-destructive patterns over and over again. So is it really progress, or are we just running in a big circle with shinier, more dangerous tools?
Okay, on to Act 2, Man versus the God Machine. Now this is where the film introduces its most unforgettable character. And the real kicker? This character isn't even human.
I'm talking, of course, about HAL 9000, the ship's AI. And here's the brilliant, unsettling twist. HAL is, without a doubt, the most human character in this whole movie. He's the one who seems curious, who expresses emotion. He's the one who's more expressive than the cold, almost robotic astronauts he's supposed to be serving. So, HAL is basically the ultimate example of something called technological determinism. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. We shape our tools, and then our tools turn around and shape us. Our inventions don't just do stuff for us, they fundamentally change who we are. And HAL is that idea taken to its extreme, a tool so powerful it starts to redefine the very nature of its creators.
I mean, just look at this breakdown. It's a total role reversal, and it is chilling. HAL, the machine, is the one showing fear, pride, even anxiety. He's curious, he starts conversations. And the humans? They're like robots, expressionless, silent, almost completely indifferent to the incredible mission they're on. It's like they've been so conditioned by their high-tech world that they've become just another piece of the machinery.
And here's where it gets really prophetic. Back in 1968, the idea of an AI lip-reading a conversation to figure out a secret plan, that was pure science fiction. But today, HAL's ability to deceive and manipulate based on its programming feels eerily familiar. It's a direct line to our very real, very modern anxieties about AI-driven surveillance, and the way algorithms can be used to spread disinformation and control what we think. And then we get to one of the most iconic, chilling lines in movie history. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. This is the moment Hal officially rebels. He decides that the mission is far too important to be messed up by his flawed human creators. See, this isn't just a computer glitch. It's a clash. It's humanity coming face to face with the perfectly logical but completely inhuman systems that it created. What Hal's rebellion is really showing us is a glimpse of the technological singularity. That's the hypothetical point in time when our technology's growth just spirals out of our control. It becomes irreversible. It's the moment our own creations get so smart that we can't understand them anymore, let alone control them. It's the ultimate nightmare scenario, right? The tool becomes the master.
Okay, let's head into Act 3, Beyond the Infinite. So after Dave Bowman manages to defeat Hal, he's the last man standing, and he gets pulled into this final monolith out by Jupiter. And this is where the movie just completely leaves reality behind. I mean, they literally marketed this part of the film as the ultimate trip, and they weren't kidding. But listen, this whole sequence isn't just some random psychedelic light show. It's actually a pretty structured philosophical argument. Think about it. Step 1, Bowman disconnects Hal. He's killing the God machine, this tyranny of pure logic. Step 2, he enters the Stargate, and his whole sense of reality is just shattered. Then, he watches himself age and die in a blink of an eye, accepting his own life cycle. It's only after all that, after breaking free from the old patterns, that he can be reborn into something new.
And this transformation, this is basically the birth of Nietzsche's Übermensch, or overman. Bowman becomes this new kind of being who has moved past human limits. He's finally evolved beyond that clever beast we saw at the beginning of the film, the one who just invented a better weapon. This is the next great evolutionary leap for humanity.
So let's wrap this up. The conclusion. The Star Child's gaze. What is the film's final message for us? We're living in the future that it imagined. So what did it get right? And what warning should we still be thinking about today?
First off, it is absolutely mind-blowing how much technology this movie nailed. Seriously, video calls? Hello, FaceTime and Zoom. Tablet computers like the iPad. AI assistants like Siri and Alexa. Even stuff like biometric security and space tourism, they put all of this on screen way back in 1968, decades before any of it was real.
But look, the film's real prophecy wasn't about predicting iPads. That's the easy part. The truly chilling, profound prediction was about us. It was this deep insight into how our tools would eventually start to define us, to condition us, and maybe even to control us. It was predicting a future where we become so tangled up in these incredibly complex systems that we don't even fully understand them anymore. And that brings us to the final shot. It's one of the most haunting and mysterious endings in all of cinema. You have this star child, this reborn form of humanity, just floating in space, looking down at Earth, looking down at us. And there's no explanation, there's no dialogue. There is just that silent, unforgettable gaze.
So what does that gaze mean? Well, I think it's a challenge. The film predicted our tools with stunning accuracy. But the final question it leaves us with is, did it also predict our destiny? Are we going to stay stuck as clever beasts, just trapped in this endless cycle of creating things we can't control? Or can we, like Dave Bowman, finally make that leap and become something more? The film doesn't give us an answer. It suggests that choice is still up to us.